Hi, in this video we are going to see how to connect to Oracle database from MuleSoft. So in order to do that, I'll just quickly create a Mule project with the name Oracle demo, and then I'm going to use Mule runtime version 4.4, which is the latest one, and I'll just click finish. So here what I'm going to do is, in my use case, I'm going to receive a request through HTTP listener. So basically I'm going to post some request from any HTTP client like Postman or advanced REST client. So I'm going to use such tool in order to post the request. So I'll just configure the HTTP listener first. So I'll keep the port as default and then I'll click OK. So in order to receive the request, we need a endpoint. So I'll configure this endpoint as employee, which is our resource endpoint which will receive our request. And then I'll just go to advanced and I'll say allowed method is get. So whenever there is a method using get, and if anybody is invoking with the endpoint employee with localhost 8081 port, then this application will get triggered. So now we have added the HTTP listener configuration. I'll just save it, and then I'll go and add a database module, because main thing is we are going to connect to Oracle database. You just drag and drop into the project palette, and once you add the database, left side you will be able to see the relevant jars got added. So now in that I'm going to use a select template. I'll just drag and drop select into our canvas, which is inside our flow. So now we need to configure the connector configuration. There mainly we are going to connect to Oracle, so we have to choose the Oracle connection. Here if you see the required libraries, it's saying please add the required driver. So I already downloaded the required driver from internet to my system, which I am going to download it, which I am going to browse it now, which is nothing but OJDBC 8.jar. I'll just open that, and then I'll just click OK here. So once you click OK here, right, you will be able to see this tick mark, which means whatever the jars which we have added, it's properly uploaded into our Anypoint Studio under our project. So now in this machine I also run Oracle, which is running in my local host with default port, which is 1521, and my username in the database is c ## demo user, and password I'll fill it, and instance I have some Oracle database with name called ORCL, which is a default database. So that's a database I have. So now I'll just do a test connection. So basically this test connection is trying to connect to Oracle database which is running in our local machine. I'll just give OK, and if you in your demo, or if you want to practice, you can install some Oracle and you can try to connect it. Or if you have some other environment which is in internet or any other in your client environment where you can connect to any Oracle, you have to give that host name and port name here, and also username and password and required database name as well. So the database connectivity is complete. That's why when we did a test connection, it was successful. And then I'll just click OK. So whatever we are supposed to do for connecting to database, it's done now. So now what we have to do, we have to give a query here. If you go to this particular box, right, SQL query text, I already have in my database, I have a table called employee. Okay, so I have a table called employee, select asterisk from employee I gave. Now this will result in a Java object. Okay, so I wanted to convert that to JSON, so I'll add a transform message which will help to convert to any kind of output. So I have added a transform message. Whatever the output is coming from this select, right, which will be a record of employee information which I wanted to convert to JSON. So output template or output type, you just change it to application/JSON, and what you wanted to convert, the entire payload you wanted to convert to JSON. So now that's it. So what this particular flow it will do, it will receive your request and it will connect to database, and it will fetch the record from employee table. And once it's received the record from employee table, it will convert that into JSON. So now we are going to run this project. So it's saying already it's running in your embedded Mule runtime. Do you want to stop that project and start it? Because I already running something, so I'm just giving yes, so that the other project will get stopped and this project will come up. So now the project is coming up. So meanwhile I'll just go to my REST client, which is nothing but Postman. So here is the place I'm going to test it. Localhost 8081, where my Mule application is running, and the resource endpoint is nothing but employee. Okay, so this is my endpoint. and also the method is get method. So when I run it, it's supposed to give the result back. So now our application is still coming up. So once it's up, right, we'll be able to see some message called deployed status. So once we see deployed status, then we can run and see the result from here. Otherwise, if the application is not started, you will get something like could not send request, because the application itself not started or not deployed. So once we see the deployed message, right, we can run that. So now it's in the last step, it's initializing the app in our Mule runtime. So this Anypoint Studio, it will come up with a lightweight Mule runtime. There it's deploying this Oracle demo project. So once Mule embedded runtime it's up and it's deployed, then we will be able to see some message called deployed. So once we see deployed status, we will run. See here, there's the deployed status. Now I'll just go and run. Here it's supposed to result or give the response of employee table. See here, there are a lot of records which is coming from employee table. If you look at this name, right, there are around 12 records are there, and this is a first employee record which is having a name, ID, department. Other one is name, ID, department. Similarly, you have 12 records. So how I'll also go and show you the list of record available in the table. See, this is the table. So I have connected using SQL Plus. I have connected to Oracle database. If I run this query, right, select asterisk from employee, which will result 12 records. So this way you can connect to Oracle database and you can fetch some record. So now what I did is I have fetched all the record. Assume you have to fetch some specific record. How do you do it, right? So that is what you are going to try now. So in order to retrieve only specific record, what I am going to do, that parameter I am going to send it via this query parameter. Okay, so here I am going to send question mark and I am going to send some ID, which is nothing but employee ID equal to, I am just going to give 1001. So now if I pass this value, right, employee ID equal to 1001 and send it, still it will result all the record, because in our application we are fetching always the entire data. But what I want is I wanted to fetch only the employee ID 1001, and or if I pass 1002, it's supposed to retrieve only 1002 employee records. Similarly, based on this input parameter, I want to fetch only that specific record alone. How do we do it? So this employee ID field is nothing but your query parameter. So we are going to take the value which is coming from this query parameter in our Mule application. So how we will do it? So we will use some variable. I'll just drag and drop the variable before our select query. I'll just call this variable name, right? I'll just call this as a employee ID value, and then I'll just take this. You have to click the switch to expression mode, then only you can type your data wave syntax. There I'm going to type attributes dot query params, because the value which you are going to retrieve, it's coming in the query parameter dot, what is the field name? Employee ID, right? EMP ID is my field name, so I'm going to give that field name. So whenever there is a value which is coming in this employee ID, EMP ID, it's going to store it in this EMP ID value field, which is a variable. Okay, so now we have set the variable. So now our Mule application will know it has to take EMP ID and it has to store that value into this EMP ID value field. Okay, so now whatever we are going to pass, it's going to come and in this particular variable. I'll just copy this variable. I'll go to the select. So here I'm going to add a where condition. So we have wanted to fetch something with the field called, you have to go and see what are the field name in your table, name, ID, department. So we wanted to filter based on ID field. So I'll just copy ID and you just give where ID equal to, and here you have to give a colon. So that's the syntax. And what value you wanted to pass it here? I wanted to pass something called employee ID. So this is the value I wanted to pass, or this is the variable I wanted to pass. So this employee ID you just copy and you just put the expression mode, then open the curly braces, because you have to pass the object here. I'll just name this as a employee ID colon, For this particular key, I'm going to substitute some value which is nothing but vars dot whatever we have set it in a previous set variable, right? So we have used set variable. There we have used some variable name called emp id value. That is the one I'm substituting. So whatever it is coming in the query parameter, it's already stored in this value which we are assigning to this employee ID field. So this employee ID field, it's referred here. Okay, so now this is the table field name. So where ID equal to whatever it's coming in a query parameter, it will get assigned here and it will get substituted here, so that it will fetch only the relevant ID which is coming in a query parameter. So that's the way this query will work. I'll save this one. So earlier when we run, even with this value query parameter, we don't have any logic, so it was retrieving everything. Now if I run this one, it will fetch only the 1001 record. I'll just go and see our project got deployed or not. I'll just go to the console because we have done the changes and we saved it. And also you see here started app. So whatever the latest changes I have done at 11:37, so which is my current time as well, which got reflected. So I'm just going to run this application from the Postman. Earlier it was retrieving 12 records. See here, now it's retrieving only one record because 1001 matching criteria, we have only one record. Let me try with other record, which is 1002 for employee ID. See here, it's fetching the record which is equivalent to 1002. So this way you can fetch the record based on specific condition as well. So I'll just go and see the list of records available in the table. If I fetch this 1005, it will result this Raja. Okay, I'll just try this 1005 and run it. See here, the name Raja and department testing is coming. So how that is coming? So this is a query parameter. This query parameter, first we are extracting from the attribute and storing in the field called employee ID value, which is a variable. And after that, that variable we are forming in a payload, or we are forming in an object where we are saying employee ID equal to vars dot that particular employee ID value field. So that is getting assigned to that employee ID, and then once this employee ID is available, which is nothing but your payload which is there in your object, that is getting substituted here. So this way you can pass the relevant var condition and get or fetch the relevant record from the particular table. So this is for fetching one record. For example, assume you wanted to fetch another record, or you wanted to fetch based on multiple conditions. So you wanted to add some and condition. So that is also you can do. So if you add and here, and for example you wanted to match it with some department. Okay, so I'll say department, and for now I'll just hard code the department as testing, and I'll say testing. So this is my value. So department is nothing but testing. Or you can take it from your variable or query parameter or URI parameter. So I'll just say department equal to testing, and I have to add a comma here because there are two fields. So department equal to testing, and if you want to add this department, right? So your database, the field name is department, field name is department. So if you go and see the table, the field name in the table, it's a department. In your employee table, there are three fields: name, ID, department. So I'll say department equal to colon, I have to substitute this particular key. Okay, so this is the key, I just pasted it. So now earlier when I run 1005, this record is coming and department is testing, right? So it will match. Okay, because 1005 has a testing as well. Okay, and then we just saved it, and that particular project is not up. So now it's already started the app just now. I'm going to run it again. See here, it's coming 1005 with testing. But again, if I try with 1001, earlier when we try 1001, there was one record. Now it's not coming because 1001 record, if you look at it, the department is IT. But what we are checking in the code now, 1001, and we are checking department should be testing, then only it will result. So this way you can add and condition also. So similarly, if you wanted to check multiple condition, it's possible, single condition, it's possible. So this way you can connect to the database table and fetch relevant record also. So initially we have tried fetching all the record, and then we fetched through one where condition. Later we fetched through some AND condition with the 2 condition as well. So now if I wanted to match this 1005 will come, because we are matching department ID always should be testing. So if I match with this 1009 also, it will come. So I'll try with 1009. It's supposed to return 1 records now. So you see here 1 record is coming. So this way you can connect to your Oracle database and fetch whatever the record you wanted from the specific table. Thank you.